1 second, real quick. One second. All right. All right. So, of course, today is the Shabbat. For those that keep the Shabbat, I just want to jump on here real quick this morning and talk about this stuff that's going on right now. I wasn't going to do a live until Monday. Probably after this, I'll get back into my Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, finish up the book of Jeremiah, but that probably might be Monday. I got a yard sale planned for tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here tomorrow. At least I hope not. But woke up this morning, early this morning, and I just so happened to look at the news. So let me share a few articles real quick. One of these news articles, well, two of them I was going to do yesterday, but I just didn't feel like getting on here yesterday. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to get my phone bill paid and my internet, because they're both, it's on the same bill. So let me bring this up real quick. Let me just do this real quick. So I woke up this morning to this news here. And we're going to read a little bit through this. And then I'm going to get into some of these other articles that I was going to get into yesterday, but I just didn't. Preparing for the Shabbat and all that stuff. I didn't really have the time to do such. So I'm going to do it today. Let me make sure my connection is working just fine as well. Because it seems like every time I get on here, my connection starts messing up. Let me see. All right, so I sound fine in my phone. Hopefully I could carry this. It's a tsunami warning here. I just heard it. Connection starting to mess up. Give me a second. Real quick. All right, put that right there. All right, so anyway, we have a tsunami warning in California. And this kind of ties in with a dream that I had. I think it was around 2015, 2016, somewhere around that time, where I was at my old apartment. Well, I was at the apartment I used to stay at. And it was this earthquake. Excuse me. It was this earthquake. And in my dream, all the freeway systems that was around my apartment collapsed. And it was this big wave that came in, and the freeways kind of blocked the waves or whatever, the tsunami or whatever. I'm just going to keep it short. I did this. I already talked about it a while back, like 8 months ago, when I had did one of these live discussions. But after that, it was like these Black Hawks, or like 5 of them, like in an arrowhead formation going towards San Francisco. And San Francisco was completely underwater in my dream. But I'm not saying that this is it, but I just find it very fascinating. So it says here, San Francisco, CBS, SFAP. An undersea volcano erupted in spectacular fashion near the Pacific nation of Tonga on Saturday, sending large tsunami waves crashing across the shore and triggering a rare tsunami advisory for Northern California coast. And I was looking at the live feed, and Berkeley Marina is, I'm not going to say it's like completely tore up or whatnot, but you see some boats flipped over, and, the way, the water is like kind of up. Now, they say that around about, let me see what time. They say around about 9:30, which was about an hour ago, that they're basically telling people to stay away from the shore and stay away from the beaches. So they closed down all the beaches out here. Me personally, I'm more up north now and I'm more inland, so it's not going to affect me any, but this is going to be along all the coastlines here. So just bringing this up, and we're going to go into USGS right here, and it, like I was doing last live a couple of days ago, looking at the USGS and looking at the earthquakes, and it was also talking about that, how that what was that? The mountain burning with fire or whatever, tossed in the sea, and how that whole thing goes down and whatever. But it's talking about an underwater volcano erupted. National Weather Service issued the alert, tweeting a tsunami advisory has been issued for the United States West Coast, including our area. Arrival time of waves around 7:30 a.m. this morning, and this is around the time I woke up and see this news. My mom said it came on at 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know exactly when the volcano erupted underwater, but says a tsunami capable of producing strong currents, hazardous to swimmers' boats, and coastal structures are expected. And then they say that the possible waves are 1 to 3 feet. And then in other areas, I believe, we'll get into all that in a minute. Let me see if I could take this off here. Nope. Well, this is them doing the live or whatever. They're talking about it here, which I'm not going to play the video, but it is kind of covering up what I want to read. Excuse me. The Weather Service issued the following estimated arrival times for tsunami surges. Fort Bragg, 7:35 a.m. Monterey, 7:35 a.m. Crescent City in San Francisco around 10 a.m. And then you see all these tweets here. Tsunami expected to reach San Francisco around 8:10 a.m. this morning, which will correspond with high tide for San Francisco at 9:09. Expect low lying inundation and minor flooding possible, especially for areas like Marin headlands. And then they show this graph here. So at 11:44, let me zoom in so you guys can see these times. So at 11:44, they say the waves are going to be at 4.66 feet. And at 9, it was up to 6 feet. 9:09, it was 6 feet. Let's see here. So they show you this graph here. Flooding was reported near Santa Cruz Harbor. Excuse me, let me bring this down so I can see. Flooding was reported near Santa Cruz Harbor. Some residents were evacuated. So this is Santa Cruz here. Another huge surge in the back harbor, bigger than the first one. Hashtag Santa Cruz. So Santa Cruz is basically going underwater right now. That was around 8:57 this morning. And the first signs of damage in the upper harbor. This is what Santa Cruz looks like over there in their harbor. I don't think anybody posted one about Berkeley, but I did see something that they had about Berkeley. Hello, Pam, and hello, Carol. I see you guys in the chat. Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. So, says here, Cal Fire, Weather Service tweet. This is particularly important for people just waking up who may not check the news or social media before departing on their morning walk on the beach. Please consider calling your loved ones if you know they are currently on the coast to inform them of the hazard. So this is right here is San Mateo, and this is a video which I'm not on Twitter, so I'm not going to try and play the Twitter video. Someone on Facebook has family in Hawaii. They said waves are 2 to 7 feet. Yeah, because this, well, I'm going to get into that when I go onto the USGS map and show exactly where the volcano had erupted underwater. And this is, where is this? El Granada. El Granada. The current look at Surfers Beach in El Granada, California. Stay on high ground. So also in San Leandro, which San Leandro ain't really, it's kind of odd that they would issue this for San Leandro, because San Leandro is kind of like more inland than anything, but they still kind of by water though. So, just saying. San Leandro police also issued warning. Extensive flood is not expected at this time, but damaging wave activity could occur within harbors and marina. The warning read, although large waves or extensive flooding is not expected to occur in area, we are advising residents to avoid waterways until the advisory has been canceled, because waves could still pose a hazard to boats and swimmers. So let me make sure my all right, give me 1 second so I can this in a better spot here. Give me like 2 minutes or a minute and a half, not even that long. All right, so hopefully my connection is a little bit better. Let me see. All right, so I hear I sound a little bit better. So live Santa Cruz harbor webcam, and then they, showing the harbor webcam over there. San Francisco Emergency Services also issued an alert. A tsunami advisory means strong, dangerous currents are expected to impact San Francisco beaches, harbor, marina, dock, and finger piers and shoreline areas. The warning read, dangerous currents are expected to begin at 8:10, which is already passed, and may last for many hours. So they're talking about Hawaii now. I would blow it up, but this stupid video here is in the way. So I gotta kind of keep this slimmed down for you guys if you guys can't see it. All right, so it says the surge arrived in Hawaii Islands around 6 a.m. today, and it's just talking about all this stuff. And yeah, New Zealand said they're monitoring the situation. Tonga is where it happened. Residents of American Samoa, they were alerted. Fiji and Samoa, Japan, they're talking about it as well, which I find kind of strange. But if you look at a flat Earth map, you'll see why they're over there talking about it as well. So it talks about the explosion of the Tonga, whatever volcano was the latest series of spectacular eruptions. And then this guy down there is talking about it. So it's basically saying that, you know, New Zealand is also under management right now. So it's basically talking about the volcano is located about 64 kilometers or 40 miles north of the capital, Nuku'alofa. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So it talks about back in late 2014 and early 2015, series of eruptions in the area created a small new island and disrupted international air travel to the Pacific archipelago, whatever, for 7 days. So, so you see that this is, what's going on today. So I decided to jump on USGS here. And of course, you got all these earthquakes all over the place, all up the ridge here, and 2 in Alaska, and 3 of them, 1 in Texas, and looks like 2 in near the Midwest. But if we go on down here, here's the volcano right here. The diamonds on the map are the volcanoes. And we click on this here. Says a 5.8 volcanic eruption, 68 kilometers northwest of what we read in that article. And this happened, see, they got military time here. So let's see, 4 hours from 12 o'clock. So it happened on the 14th, just yesterday, at 20 hours, 14 minutes, and 45 seconds. So you have that. Shalom, D-Tech. See you in the chat. You saying you got a tsunami warning. Where are you? Where are you stationed at? Where do you stay at, D-Tech? You stay in like Hawaii or something like that? Just see and get an answer. But anyway, so this volcano is right here, and this is where this Sandwich Island, South Sandwich Islands, right after that is next to Fiji here, the volcano. If you see on the map, that little, kind of want to zoom in, all right? So here's Fiji here, this little small island here, and this is Tonga, this small island here. And this is where the volcano underwater erupted here. So just, if anybody's staying on the West Coast, the coastline, I would just say get to higher ground, get more inland, because you never know what to expect. And as we speak, the earthquakes this morning was at 30, and they just posted 9 more just now, because you see right here, this was at 30 when I woke up, and now it's at 9:39. So you got Alaska, Lubeck. Let me just refresh this, because they post the numbers, but don't really post the earthquake that happened. All right, so these are all the earthquakes that happened. Oklahoma, Alaska. This is all today. Japan. So we got earthquakes happening and volcanoes are erupting. Now the other 2 that I want to cover. Oh, you're in Seattle. Yeah. So they were Seattle. Let's see real quick. Let's just do this. Let's see here. So, of course, it's being covered all over the place. I forgot what they said was the height of the tsunami is going to be up there. I know it said it was going to be like 4 to 6 feet, but you know, with all the updates here, so let's see if I can find something for Seattle. Let's see here. Oops, forgot to put the LE. Let's see here. First waves hit at West Coast US. All right, let's see down here. Let's go to the Tsunami Warning Center here. Because I didn't get an advisory over here. And that's because I'm not on the coast anymore. I'm more up north inland. All right, so yeah, this is why. Let me see if I could find one here. So Alaska had a 6.5 earthquake. Trying to see. So that's at the California-Mexico border. Just give me a second here. Trying to see if they got a list here, but it seems that they don't. But I'm not going to be on here too long anyway. I was just getting on here to talk about this here. Let's see here. Tsunami data, water level. I'm trying to look for a list here. Anyway, anyhow, so they were talking about Seattle earlier, but I can't find it. It's 15 minutes ago. Well, let's see. Where is the one I was looking at earlier? Let's see here. Let's just go to this one because it should talk about the one in Seattle. Let's see, because I was looking at the updates. So we got, okay. What the heck is that? All right. So this is the timeline here. Let's look at the timeline. Beaches and harbors. This is at 12. Well, that's Eastern Standard Time. Beaches, harbors, and piers in Orange County, California has been closed. Sheriff Department. Okay. San Diego. All right. Now let's see. San Diego. 1 2 foot. Let's see if we can find something. I want to see everywhere. How Hawaii. This is what Santa Cruz looks like as we speak. And of course, they got all these pop-ups here. So you guys got to excuse that. Pacific Coast. This is up around Alaska and Monterey. Yeah, so right here, the tsunamis are coming in. Raining ash and pebbles, darkness blanketing the sky. This is Laguna Beach, California. I'm trying to find something for Seattle, Washington. This is Los Angeles. 1 to 2.5 feet. Berkeley Side Port. That's Berkeley. San Francisco, 1 to 2 feet. Let me see. I'm trying to find if anything is Seattle. So they give us this graph here, and they say, relax, prepare. 1 to 3 feet is an advisory, 1 meter or 3+ feet, it's a warning. Let's see, Orange County. They're not really talking about anything with Seattle, but it's San Diego again, Hawaii, and this is down there in Tonga. So Palmer, Alaska. Okay, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, California. So I'm just trying to see. Ash was thrown up 12 miles into the air. This is down in Tonga. So no injuries. And on top of that, we got this. I find it very interesting too, because on Shabbat Shalom, y'all son. I find it very interesting too that, okay, let me see. Long Beach, Westport, monoclips. A second eruption hit the area Saturday. See, I didn't hear about the second one. So this is what's going on here. So this is where I was on the USGS map, and they're talking about this is Alaska right here, and this is where they have the 2 earthquakes here, and this is Alaska here. Let's go back. Let's see if we can find something. I want to see a little bit more because they're putting out. So it's Portland, Oregon. This is Portland. And I don't see anything about. If I can find another article that talks about. Let's see if we can find another article here that talks about Seattle. Anyway, I would just stay somewhere inland or something, get to some high ground or whatever. Now this is one of the things I find fascinating. Let me stop sharing this screen real quick because I got another screen put to the side because I didn't want to have anything overlapping. Let me see, where is this at? I find it very fascinating that this is going on today, and we also have this going on today. Let me bring this one up here. Up there with everything else. All right, let's see here. All right, so I had to pull this tab because I had separated the tabs and I was looking at different stuff. So let me see. Okay, stop sharing, share screen. All right, there. So we got, while all this is going on, happening as well today. So underwater, I got somebody mailing me on my Facebook Messenger. Let me see real quick. You guys, they all sent me this, and I'm talking about it right now. Give me a second. So yeah, somebody just basically sent me a link to the volcano erupting and all like that, but I'm already talking about it, so let's see. So while all that's going on, today we have this going on, and it's not as serious as people would think. It's a G1 solar storm going on today as well. So I find that very, very interesting that give me a second, real quick. Let me see. Somebody asked me what live. Give me a second. Let me see if I can share this live to somebody real quick. Don't worry, get to my book of Jeremiah Monday. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to that. Just been taking some time off. I got some other stuff I need to do. Let me see here. Just give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, let me see. All right, so I had to set that off. Somebody was asking me what live was I doing this on? So back to this whole thing. As that's going on, we got a geomagnetic storm set to impact Earth directly today, because today is the 15th, right? So this is what they're saying, and of course, if you guys know anything about me, I don't believe the Earth is the way they say it is. But I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna read a little bit and then I'm gonna show you the size comparison, because I find this very funny, right? I find it very funny how they compare the size of the sun to the Earth, and it's just ridiculous. But anyway, a G1 class geomagnetic storm is expected to hit the Earth on January 15, according to NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center. According to the SWPC's most recent report, the region of influence will be predominantly poleward, up 60 degrees geomagnetic latitude on Earth. Minor power grid oscillations can occur in this region. So basically, it's just gonna, if you hear my live going in and out, that's probably what it is. It's gonna be impacting communications and receptions and stuff like that. So they go on and then they talk about that, the coronal mass ejection, and they talk about coronal holes and all that stuff. But look, so this is another graph here that they show us. So we're at G1, where we're supposedly having a G1, which is minor. And they say right here, weak power grid fluctuations may occur. Minor impact on satellite operations possible. Migratory animals are affected at this and higher levels. Aurora, the aurora borealis or whatever, the auroras, get that off, are visible they're going to be seen northern Maine and Michigan. So that's like not too bad. But anyway, so it goes and talks about the Carrington event. If you guys haven't looked into the Carrington event, I would urge you to do so, because they say it was the strongest geomagnetic storm that we had. And let's just read a little bit about the Carrington event. The Carrington event happened on September 1st and 2nd, 1859, when a severe geomagnetic storm attacked Earth during solar cycle 10. This event is also known as the 1859 occurrence, the biggest geomagnetic storm on record was triggered when a CME struck the Earth. Residents in California thought the sun rose early. People in the northeastern United States could read a newspaper at night from the aurora's intense brightness. People as far south as Hawaii and central Mexico could see the aurora in the sky because the storm was so severe. So we're at minor today right now because it's supposed to be today and it's going to be until tomorrow. So they say this: a significant electrical and communication line failure resulted from the occurrence. Telegraph networks worldwide failed, with some telegraph operators suffering electric shock. According to June 2013 analysis by Lloyd's of London and Atmospheric Environmental Research, AER, in the United States, losses in the United States may surpass 2.6 trillion, or nearly 15% of the country's yearly GDP. The Keratin event occurred in modern times. So if it occurred in our time, it would cause 2.6 trillion in losses or whatever. Now this is where this is where I say it's totally ridiculous. Look at the size of the sun. Look at the size of the sun. This is what they tell us. Look at the size. And look at this. This is Earth. This little dot here is supposed to be Earth. Wouldn't you think that this flare here would burn the whole Earth? If the Earth was exactly that size and the sun was this size? And wouldn't most of the Earth be illuminated all around except for this back part here? It just doesn't make sense. But, you know, this is why I say I don't believe that the Earth looks like this, okay? And then I don't believe what they tell us. And this doesn't look 93 million miles away to me. I'm sorry, it doesn't. But this is what they show you. The approximate size of the Earth. How did they get the size? How do they know the size of this and this, right? But again, you know, that's another topic. I probably might, for those that are interested, I probably might do another flat Earth study, a biblical flat Earth study, right? Because it's biblical. Shalom, ascending in faith. So I'm gonna probably do that. Also, I wanted to do that on the Book of Enoch study as well, dealing with God's laws. Who knows? I probably might just do that. Probably, maybe later or something. I don't know. But I find it very fascinating in the Book of Enoch when it talks about, let me just bring it up real quick. Just to give you guys a little teaser before I do the live on it. Right. Because I know most of you guys don't subscribe to the Flat Earth. I know you guys think it's pretty stupid, but, you know, I want to get into this part about God's laws real quick, where it talks about the 14 trees. Let's get into that. Because I look outside and I see exactly what was being said here. Right here. God's laws, right? So it tells us in the Book of Enoch, and it ties in with the Genesis chapter 1 and so on and so forth. It says, contemplate all the events in the sky, how the lights in the sky do not change their courses, how each rises and sets in order, each at its proper time, and they do not transgress their law. They don't break the law that God put them, that God set them in. We see every day the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. That's the way God created it, right? And then it says here, consider the earth and understand from the work that is done upon it, from the beginning to the end, that no work of God changes as it becomes manifest. Consider the summer and winter, how the whole earth is full of water, and the clouds and dew and rain rest upon it. Contemplate and see how all the trees appear withered, and all their the 14 trees which are not stripped, but remain with the old leaves until the new come after 2 or 3 years. So, and then it talks about this again, contemplate the days of summer, how at its beginning the sun is above it. You seek shelter and shade. You seek shelter and shade because of the heat of the sun, and the earth burns with scorching heat, and you cannot tread upon the earth or upon a rock because of its heat. And then it talks about contemplate how the trees are covered with green leaves and bear fruit, and understand in respect of everything, and perceive how he who lives forever made all these things for you. So he made all this stuff, right? We get that in Genesis chapter 1. But I just want to throw that little teaser out there for when I do that live. Because first I'm gonna get a video of these trees that have the leaves stripped, and show you the trees that don't have their leaves stripped. And that's how we should be doing things. So I'm not going to get into this whole solar storm thing. So another thing that they mentioned down here, also read, gigantic asteroid will pass by Earth in 7 years. Do we have defense against such threats? I find this very fascinating as well, because again, this is what they're also talking about. They're trying to equate it to this TV show, Don't Look Up, and they give us this silly animation here, right? And it was a lady named Carol Rosen. She was Warner Von Braun. I believe she was Warner Von Braun's assistant. Let me just do something real quick. Let me stop sharing this real quick, because I find this very fascinating. I find this very, very fascinating. So let me see. Let me find her video real quick. Let me see if I can find her video real quick. Because she said this is one of the things that they're going to be, well, one of the last things that they're going to be talking about. And let me see. Let me bring this down, the West Coast Tsunami, the Usgs. I'm going to leave up these two last ones that I'm going to cover. And then I'm going to get back into Monday, I'm gonna get back into my book of Jeremiah, finishing up the book of Jeremiah. I believe I left off on chapter 29, so I'm gonna start off from 30 till probably 36, and then from 36 to 44, I believe, or not 44, 42, and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna finish up the book of Jeremiah. But I was taking a little break. So let me bring up this. Let me get this YouTube video up, and let me put my disclaimer at the bottom of the screen here for YouTube police. Because I gotta have these little banners ready, right? I'm not making any money off my channel. My channel is not monetized, and by the Copyright Act of 1976, I can use partial video for educational or other purposes. Okay. So just in case YouTube don't know laws, the Fair Use Act, right? Okay, let's bring this up. Let me see if I can find this here. I probably should have had this. Probably should have had this up already. Let me see. Where is she at? Hopefully they didn't take the video down. But before I get into, where is her video at? Let me see if I already got it saved. Let me see here. Go in my library. Let's see. Let me see. Give me a second. I gotta try and find this video. Hopefully they didn't wipe it off YouTube. That's what I'm hoping they did not do. YouTube. I tell you. Let me see if I can find that video. Because it is very, very important, especially dealing with what we hear in the news today. Here it is. Okay. Found it. Let me see where I want to start this at. Let me just see real quick. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me see real quick. I want to start.
When I was a corporate manager of Fairchild Industries in 1974 through 77.
All right, let me see here. Let me mute real quick so I could cue this video up real quick. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Pam, they will copyright you if you use something that's copywritten. I don't think it really, I don't think it's only just music. They will copyright you if you're using like somebody else's video that they don't give you permission. So that's why I put the fair use thing at the bottom, because you could play partial stuff or whatever. But give me a second. I'm about to cue this up. Yeah, I'm about to cue this up. So I'm gonna mute my mic for a little bit so I get this to where I want it, so you guys could see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So I want you guys to hear what this lady's about to say. Give me a second real quick. I'm about to check my audio quick. Make sure everything's working just fine. So let me see here. Let me see. You might hear it. All right. Give me 1 second. Maybe I can bring some of this other stuff down. I wish I don't have to do that, but as a matter of fact, give me a second. I'm gonna try and plug my voice to my computer, because it seems like it works a little bit better. I do it like that. So let's see, because I want people to hear. All right, so it's a little bit better here. Let me see. All right, so I should sound a little bit better. Let me see. Because again, like I just went over, You know, we got this solar storm today, so my connection is not going to be the best. Hopefully, I'm back. You got me better now. I guess I just got to do what I got to do. All right. I want you guys to listen to what Karen Rosen, this lady here. All right. So I want you guys to hear this. Hopefully, it'll play perfect. Your audio is intermediate. Yeah, I know. We got a solar storm going on, so I was expecting this. So hopefully I sound a little bit better. I'm gonna try and hurry up and push through this, but I want you guys to hear what Karen Rosen says in this video when she was with Warner Von Braun. If you guys don't know who Warner Von Braun was, go look him up. But let me play this.
At first, the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in 74, they were the enemy, the identified enemy. We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, the commies, that whole story. First, the Russians were the enemy against whom we're going to build space-based weapons. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. We heard a lot about terrorism. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern.
Let me know if you guys could hear the video. I kind of hate that. Kind of hate that my connection is messing up. But let me know, type of one, if you can hear the video.
Concern. But he said that would be the third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the next enemy was asteroids. Now, at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids, against asteroids, we're going to build space-based weapons. Would be the third.
All right, I probably might have to bring this down real quick. All right, you guys can hear it. Okay, let me play it again. Let me play it from where we started. Okay. So she says that first they said the Russians were going to be the enemy. Then, well, let me just play it.
Third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the next enemy was asteroids. Now, at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids, against asteroids, we're going to build space-based weapons. So it was funny then. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens. And all of it, he said, is a lie.
So there you have it. The words from Carol Rosen. Oops, that's not what I'm getting to right now. But she said that, you know, she said it was going to be Europeans, then it was going to be third world crazies, then it was going to be asteroids. We need to build space-based weapons. What do we see happening right now? They're talking about building they're talking about building satellites or whatever to crash into asteroids and throw them off course and stuff like that, right? That's what they're talking about right now. So the next card, she says, after that is going to be the alien threat card, which, you know, we already know that the government is already talking about disclosure and putting all this information out about aliens. And she said it's all a lie. It's all going to be a lie. The reason why they want to build these space-based weapons. Yes. Warner Von Braun was the Nazi that they brought over here to start basically build the rockets for NASA. Some speculate that he was one of the ones that started NASA, but So it says, they got this TV show here. Don't look up. Asteroids are heading toward Earth, dealing with real life threats to our planet. Again, I don't believe rocks are, falling down from space, because this is from January 9th of this year. So they talking about this TV show that's called Don't Look Up. All right. I find it very fascinating that they do all this stuff. And you see here, they say this Netflix film, Don't Look Up, right? Don't look now, but we are currently experiencing a rash of stories about forthcoming global catastrophe. But they change from reports of this word. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get my channel struck down by the big bad YouTube police. But in climate change, this global catastrophe is produced by the impact of a giant asteroid or comet or both. This may feel extra ominous given the events in the recent Netflix film Don't Look Up. Okay, so they're equating this to a TV show in which the Earth is threatened by a planet killer asteroid. But how worried should we really be? And what would happen if such a body actually hit us? It has been my experience that killer asteroids tend to strike in the summer months. So they're basically giving us a time frame, right? Time plot, summer. And then they go on to talk about, they bring up Nostradamus, right? Which I don't believe the guy was giving prophecies, but they say he was giving prophecies, which, he ain't no prophet. But again, that is what it is. So it says, it has been my experience that killer asteroids tend to strike in the summer months when news is thin on the ground. Maybe we are so tired of grim news about the spread of the what, what this is. I can't say it, but and associated problems that a killer asteroid or comet makes a refreshing change. So they go on to talk about this. The UK newspaper have turned to Nostradamus, the 16th century astrologer. A couple ran stories at the end of 2021 about 2022 being the year in which Nostradamus. Give me a second. Hold on, I'm gonna see who this is. Likely will not come close to in 2022, and it goes on and it talks about this blah blah, blah. This big blah blah. And they say don't look up realistic. And they said don't look up allegory. Use the globally catastrophic impact of planet killer for global catastrophic impact of climate change. It's a spell of corruption, the venality and political and corporate self-interest. You guys probably are on Netflix watching them shows, but basically, and talk about is the film realistic, and they talk about dinosaurs and all this stuff, right? But it's not gonna hit the earth. And then they talk about don't look up to touches a nerve. It's a lack of preparedness for the emergency of when, if and when it finally happens and the mitigation plans have failed. And they're talking about basically this news story. And they say there's no plan B. In the film, the slogan "Don't look up" is a denial that an approaching comet will destroy the planet, and it is portrayed as fake news. So this is them basically, they talk about it's not fake news down here, all this stuff, right? But anyway, the last thing I wanted to touch on, because this was something that I talked about in my previous live, going into the end time events and talking about, the mark. And they talk about this guy the first guy that was paralyzed, he got a brain implant, a microchip brain implant, right? And it's just like, very fascinating here. Let me go into the Hebrew. It's just very fascinating here that they keep talking about all this stuff, right? And I keep telling people that it believe what it is, but not a lot of people are going to believe that, we're here in the lexicon here again. Connection, right? As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do that because I want to get off here. I'm not going to have this go over an hour and 30 minutes today. But they talk about this guy receiving this chip, a brain computer interface company, and talk about their breakthrough implant. And he's the team helped a paralyzed man write his first ever tweet using direct thought to the computer. So this guy was the first guy to get this chip implanted in his head. And it talks about a lot of people on the internet were definitely surprised. Dr. Christopher Killer even asked how Philip could control which thought he typed. Philip promptly replied through BCI, brain computer interface. So basically, he wrote a tweet. All he had to do was think about it. Right? It says right here, no need for keystrokes or voices. I created this tweet just by thinking it. So we have that, right? And it talks about that in the Revelation 13 thing. And, they're talking about this. Thank you, Philip. We have loved you for joining as well as several likes. He's taking a break now. So Bianca will try to get him to rest try to get to the about this. And yeah. And again, this part here, I'm not going to touch on down there, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I just want to go through that stuff because again, I told people what I think, not what I think, but what I know the mark is, okay? Because it lines up with scripture. And just for a little closing video, this video was back in 2014, I believe in 2014. So I'm going to just play the first part of this video here. And I want you guys to hear it from a guy that's in the military talking about it, okay? Because this is where I came to my conclusion. It's just talking about it, right? There's too many people talking about it. Talking about it. Let me just play this video, a little bit of this video, and get off here and go make me something to eat and get back to doing my studying for the day. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. I want you guys to hear it from a guy in the military. Let me pause it right here at the beginning. Hopefully my connection is just fine. All right. So I want you guys to listen to this, right? Because again, it is what it is. Okay. I'm not gonna keep, trying to argue or, wrestle with people to understand what this is, right? But
I appreciate it.
All right. So let me play this. Let me see what timestamp this was done. Oh, actually, this was June 18th, 2016. This video was done. And it is from Sackcloth and Ashes News Report, right? This is what let me share my screen so you guys can see. All right, let me see. This is the video here. And it is from Sackcloth and Ashes News Report. So I just want you guys to hear a little bit of this video about the Army guy, right? The Army guy that they're talking to here.
I appreciate it. We're here every Saturday. All right. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just passing by. I'm at it, I'm on leave, so. Okay, what, you in the military? Yeah. Oh, okay. Man, we were just reading about what's going on. I'm headed to Iraq, so. Man. To the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. Where they're going to make you fight against the Lord. I'll go AWOL if I was. Yeah, I didn't read that in Revelation. Yes, we was bringing it up. You got a chip or anything like that in? About to. Nah. Hey, get the script, bro. Get the script. Everybody, remember what I was talking about? Hey,
so he said, remember what I was talking about? Now they got a picture. They got a picture up here of what he was told about. Well, they told him in the military. Let me just play it. You're gonna hear it.
You are gonna die something wrong. Hey, bro, let me tell you something real quick, bro. That's it. Let me tell you something right now. That's exactly what the Lord brought you right here to either deliver you or condemn you. That's the reason why you're here. I knew about it. I already knew about it. They were talking about it. Look, I say you say this. Conscientious objective. Conscientious objective. On my wallet, man. What's on your wallet? Chip? I already gave you your answer. But the Lord, if you get that chip, but it's like it is RFID chip. Right. But it does go on there. Well, you know what? We had a guy that came up to the other side a couple weeks ago. He had like a couple chips.
So this guy is in the military, and he said that the military already told him about it. And he said, and he gave them confirmation. They got a picture of it. And he points to it. He asked somebody that's standing next to him, remember what I was talking to you about? And then he says, he looks at the picture and he points right to it. And then he says that he has something on his wallet or whatever. And then he said, but it is the RFID chip and it does go in your hand. And they were already talking to him about it. So I just found that, just telling you guys, right? They're pushing it now, right? As you've seen in that, what I couldn't talk about, and I'm not going to talk about it because last time I talked about it, my channel got shut down for about 2 weeks. So, it is what it is. I just hope you guys be aware of what's going on in this world because we're fastly, approaching the end, just like Christ said, learn the parable of the fig tree. When you see all these things start to happen, know that it is near, even at the doors. And I'm going to end it off with that. I just wanted you guys to see that for what it is, because I've been talking about it for, for years. So shalom, everybody. I hope you have a blessed day, a Shabbat. If you guys, keep the Shabbat and, all that stuff. Shalom.